My epiphany came in a sauna. And sweat will do that to you. Sweat brings to the surface some of the most incredible ideas. This idea actually started with a question. The question was, how fit do you actually need to be to row across an ocean? And as I sat and I contemplated, I was hanging out with my teammates. And we were doing this in a sauna to get ready for our row. We were rowing from West Africa to the south of Florida. It was a route that hadn't been taken before. It was a world's first journey, but being the first and the fastest for some reason didn't appeal to me. Myself, I'm an old Olympian, I'm an all or nothing type of guy, and processing this emotion was too hard. I didn't have the language. Thankfully there was a chatty guy in the sauna who was just downloading rhetoric to my teammate Jordan. And I wiped the sweat from my eyes and I looked, and my gaze instantly was drawn down. This man had the most muscular, well-formed, endowed feet that I had ever seen. Man's name was Barefoot Ted. Barefoot Ted runs ultramarathons, and Barefeety is a minimalist sandal company. And Barefoot Ted was celebrating a transition in his life. He was moving from competitive athletics into what I call thrill athletics. The idea of thrill athletics is that you're not out there to win. You're out there to feel the thrill of the competition. You're out there to feel the thrill of the environment. You want to feel what real hunger feels like. You want to catch the person in front. You want to get away from the person behind you. You want to get out there so air is sweeter, food tastes richer, sleep is deeper. And at this time, Barefoot Ted was really getting worked up. He's saying, right now, I train and I compete like a surfer. I don't want to just catch. I just want to be fit enough so I can just catch the wave. It was very different from when I was training for the Olympics. We were trained to be the best in the world. I had a saying when I was training for the Olympics that it never hurts that much less. You just get faster. But now that I'm on the other side and no longer training at the higher level, it doesn't hurt any less. You just get slower. But it doesn't still mean that you can't have fun. And recently, I hopped in a boat with a bunch of 50, 60, and 70-year-olds, and we went down to a Crew Classic in San Diego. It was a thrilling race. The guy in the bow of my boat was 71 years old, and we won the race by 0.15 seconds. Yeah. This is the medal from my race. Now I have a question for you. Which medal is more valuable when you're just fit enough? I'll let you decide, passing them around. And rest assured, I am just fit enough to catch you and get that medal back if you decide to run. And when you're just fit enough, you can have great adventures. Well, when I was rowing across the ocean, I got really tired, obviously. Day 60, I was super tired. And I was lying down in the cabin with my buddy Pat when I started hearing hooting and hollering on the deck. Jordan and Marcus were going nuts. Oh my God, it's so beautiful! You gotta come out here, you gotta see, oh my God! Shut up. I'm sleeping. And what was it? It was a moonbow. What's a moonbow? The moon was shining, and it was casting its light on a rainstorm, and that rainstorm was casting beautiful light against the stars. It was a rainbow, muted, and underneath, everything was glowing with phosphorescence. Now, to be fit enough to row across the ocean, I didn't have to do much. I actually trained by biking my son to daycare and doing bodyweight exercises in the living room floor. But it allowed me to have stories. And another great story was from eating this Taste Adventure soup. In the middle of our midnight shift, we would break out the Taste Adventure soup. It was warm, it was beany, it was wonderful. And as I was eating, I was like, oh, this is so great. I'm going to eat this every day. I look over at Pat. I get back home, and I'm cooking it on the stove, and my wife walks in the room, and she's, what is this? We're back in the city. And I was like, it's only the best soup ever. It's Taste Adventure soup, Taste Adventure soup. She smells it, she starts gagging. I couldn't even eat it, it was disgusting. And it turns out that, when you're in a city with fresh food, rehydrated space food seems to lose its appeal. But there's one more thing I love about cities. That's where my kids live. And one of the things I absolutely love to do is go out on adventures with my kids. I took my son Jefferson out in my Whitehall Spirit rowing boat. We went out to row around the Trial Islands, which was just off Vancouver Island. And it was a perfect West Coast day. The sky was blue, the Olympic Mountains were up above, the kelp sea forest was underneath, there was an eagle flying overhead. All the seals were pupping, so they were swimming out to our boat, and they were just popping their heads up. It was like a whack-a-mole game at the fair. I'm looking at this, and I'm just transfixed by the natural beauty. And I look over at my son and I say, Jefferson, this is incredible, this is beautiful. And he looks at me with this zen 3-year-old stare. This is normal, Dad. Well, of course it is. Of course it is, and I hope it stays normal for his entire life. And this is why I love to be fit enough. Because I want to be fit enough to adventure with my children. I want to be fit enough to go out on the weekends with other warriors. Because when you're just fit enough, you're fit enough to get out there. When you're just fit enough, you're fit enough to sweat yourself a new epiphany. When you're just fit enough, you're fit enough to catch a wave. Thank you.